of all, let's start and create our first step, and this is going to be this green yellow higher crease. I will be starting with a lighter shade, and I'm using Makeup by Mario Ethereal eyeshadow palette. Shade number 1 goes right underneath my eyebrow, and I'm stretching the color right here as well. Don't be afraid to pack this eyeshadow. Once we go with a different shade, you will be glad that you have excess amount of product actually here, so you can blend with the next colors. Now I'll be using my NYX Ultimate Brights shadow palette, and I'm gonna just take this yellow shade right here and we'll blend onto my previous shade. So I'm, in this case, starting from the middle, packing that eyeshadow, going circular motions, and we'll end up where my brow is finishing. And then when it comes to this area right here, I will elongate this shade towards my nose actually and get it high towards my eyebrow right here. This is the shape that I am going in for today. I know at the moment it looks like we are having too much of a yellow compared to this, but once the green one comes in, you'll see how it will kind of vanish. It will mix with this yellow and it will become more green. For that, I'm going to be using Be Perfect Rain palette, Makeup by Alina collaborated for this one. Going in with this shade Divine. I'm really packing this eyeshadow. This shade is beautiful mid-tone diffused green. Again, starting from the center. I'm not worried too much about lower part of this shade because we will clean that up. If you're having too much product, just wipe off the excess and start with blending the edges. It will take some time to get to this point right here. But if we want this beautiful blending, then of course it's gonna take some layering. Going in with my shade again, we will really deepen up this, and this is not going to be even, this is not done yet because we will add up more dimension later. Going in again for the third time, reapply this color as much as needed. This would be much more pigmented if I started with the green. The base would really grab that, but instead I'm going to add deeper color later. For my edges, I'm again using previous brush where I've used yellow shade. We are slowly getting there. If you need more opacity, just tap the product like this on top of your blending brush and work around the edges. Next is this step right here, and for that I'm going to be using Vaseline. If you are trying to make a cut crease, this is the way to go. The best way, the easiest way out of all. This is the shape that you're going for, and I will start pretty much low. I will start low and I will start from my inner corner, dragging that flat brush. You don't want to transfer Vaseline onto your eyeshadow that needs to be untouched. Just wanted to say, if you do look up while your Vaseline is still on your lid, chances are you are going to have start from beginning because Vaseline really will remove everything that you've done. Also, of course, always using my Q-tip and making sure they're always clean. See the difference? You can see how this side is way higher than this one. What was this? Anyways, now it's a bit easier to do this because the first one when I tried to do, like, obviously did not have anything to compare it with. Okay, now when I look at it, do you want to make this a little bit higher? Please be careful if you're doing this. Again, touching Vaseline is no option at this point. This space right here needs to be open from the beginning of your inner corner. Guideline you can follow, however, needs to be higher. Clean everything again. I know it's gonna take some time, but being patient with this gives really great results. Just wanted to tell you that off the camera I did a little bit of Kyle shade mixed with the Divine, and I applied that one right here. I know right now we're looking a little bit crazy at the moment, but this is what is going to be our next step, and for that I'm gonna be using Pixi bases in shade Nitro and Blank Canvas in the ratio of 2/3 of blank canvas. And now I will start from the center and make sure I diffuse this paint before I move on to my other part of the eye, and this will dry, but just make sure at first to spread it everywhere. See, now once this is dry, it is fine to look right in front, but at the moment right here, I don't want to do that. I'm looking up just because it's not dry. Now when I'm closer to my green line, I'm trying to be as precise as I can. Next step to achieve this will be to first set up our paint, even though it doesn't have to be set up, but set up it with a eyeshadow. For it, I'm gonna be using this shade right here from NYX Ultimate Eyeshadow Palette, and I will use some lighter eyeshadow for this. You can use any white eyeshadow just to lighten it up because this one is darker, or if you have a lighter blue shade, will be perfect for this. And I will be setting this in my inner corner. It's basically almost matching the undertone I'm having right here and also right here. Don't worry about this right here because this will be really dark. Next, to make this green, I will mix Peacock and Warrior shades. Warrior and Peacock. I will start from middle of my eye and I will kind of drag this line upwards. Once this step is done, I'm gonna go in my dream palette from Natasha Denona into the shade Edge. I'm thinking these two combine really well. I want to do another makeup look with this. This edge with this green, beautiful. I will try to blend this as much as I can. Take a little bit harder blending brush for this. This is bullet blending brush. Because the area is so small, we're not doing regular blending. Also, we'll go into shade Instinct from Natasha Denona. A little bit for my edge to give it a nice transition. Diffuse edge a little bit if needed. Now I can take a little bit bigger blending brush and just work around this edge to soften it up. Now I'm taking really small brush and it's going to be easier this way to connect this shade with the green. Also make sure to take same direction while applying all of these colors. Same eyeshadow palette and going in with the blackest black. Right away it feels like I'm creating also an eyeliner and I am going to really pack that eyeshadow. Now this is the mixture of the glitters that I've applied. You can find your own glitters, mix and apply them onto your lid on top of this blue. Next I'm taking shade Glow Girl with the Edge eyeshadow from my dream palette. Mix that together and we'll apply that in my waterline. What I do have previously is in my upper waterline, you can put, for example, MC Gel Eyeliner 77, or you can put any black eye pencil, which is waterproof, of course. It's just that it was easier for me to do this step before because I'm wearing contact lenses. To darken up my liner, I will add this pencil just on the edge. Now I'm gonna use this shade right here, and with the yellow one, I will be going into beginning of lower lash line. You can do this even with the paint if you have yellow one. From the same palette, I will transition to this shade right here, just a little bit connecting to the previous one. But then I'm gonna go really deeper with the shade right here, and we'll apply that one from the outer edge of my eye. Now what is really important is to connect this with the previous shadow that we had. I even like to bring up this shade a little bit in front. I also added up a little bit of this shade as well. Also we'll add up just a little bit of that black pencil. I know it's a lot of stuff going on here. A little bit of green bloom shade that we already used, but just tiny bit. This looks just fine. And now one last step that is most interesting for me is to use that paint, blue paint that we already had mixture of, and apply that one onto our lower lashes. And this is looking stunning. It is such a contrast because underneath we have so many colors that are opposite from this one, and this looks gorgeous. Now for the end, I will put some eyelashes, finish up the rest of my makeup, and I will be right back with you.